Hi. Uh, I was working on this old, about 1905 little splice neck brassy, and I'm getting ready to work on it. I'm thinking about putting a face insert in it. And I started working on the brass, removing the brass sole plate, and realized that I had a tip that I could offer up to people because, when you're working on these old clubs, one of the last things you really want to do is muck it up. So getting the old screws out of a sole plate is a critical process. If you can do it well and you save the screws and keep them organized when you take them apart, when you go to put this back together, you're going to have it looking just like it was. And so the thing that happens is, what you've got to be able to do is get a really good setting with a screwdriver into the slot of the screw. And what happens is, most of the time when you get these things, they're just filled, the slots are filled with old gunk, old dirt, old, grass, just stains and gunk. So, like, there's no slot there. So what I do is I have a process that I use, and I clamp the club nice and solid in the vise. And you can use anything. Now, I like to stick with tradition, the old things that I have around the shop. I've taken one of these old square nails and I've ground down the tip, but essentially I have a nice sharp sort of angled chisel point. I've already worked on these three, but so what I do is I look for these slots, and what I want to do is start carefully just chiseling away at the old grime and the old dirt that's in the slot, and do that over and over until I'm convinced that I've got it as clean as I can before I start to work on getting a screwdriver blade in there and trying to turn the screw. What happens is, if you don't do a good job of this, you don't get your screwdriver in the slot, and then what happens is you go to try to do it, and it pops out, and then you peen over the slot, and then it makes it almost impossible to get these screws out. So I got to work on this one just a little bit longer, and we'll see how the screwdriver fits in there right now. It's pretty tight. I can still see a little bit more in there than I want. Alright, let's give this a try. So this is live on camera. I've already done these and given them a little loosening, so let's see if I can get this going. It's really hard. Some of these are easy and some of them hard. This one happens to be really hard, but I'm taking my time. My slot is clean. My screwdriver's in the screw. I'm kind of pushing down and turning slowly at the same time. And you'll see I bumped a little bit there. So I'm trying to be really careful because I want to be able to use this screw again. And so I've made one turn. And oftentimes when you start to turn these things, you'll find out that they're in there kind of crooked too. So there you have it. It's coming out. That was a really hard one. I actually even slipped a couple small moves, but I was trying to be really careful. I was anticipating it because I've done this before a lot, and I know how important it is to save these screws. Now what I do is when I take these out, I lay them down on my bench, sometimes even use a piece of paper or whatever, but I put these screws down in a shape and order just how they came out, because each one of them fits well only in the screw hole that they came from, so you want to get them back into the same ones. Alright, well there you have it. Be careful, take your time, and good luck.